there's Republicans standing on the steps of the Capitol yelling and screaming about all this.
I don't know, I'm not down there, but I want to be one of those guys yelling and screaming.
That's what I expected.
Yeah. Sir?
What do you know about the kill switch bill that just came out of the Senate committee that gives the president power to shut down the internet for 4 months? This is new.
You know, I read it on Drudge this morning. I didn't have time to get through it all, but it worries me greatly when you give the power to the president to shut down, you know, basically an avenue of free speech and communication. It's really, in a way, it would shut. If you think through these things, sometimes it's not just free speech, but it's you know, powers to assemble. You know, it's really people assembling on the internet, and the Constitution guarantees your right to assembly. So I'd be worried about that as well. Anytime the federal government says they can come in and say we're going to shut everything down, I get worried.
You better be worried about the Second Amendment too. It only passed today by 5-4 in our favor.
Yeah, it's
That's dangerous.
Considering the fact that we're talking about having a new Supreme Court justice on right now,
right?
Yeah.
We're one away from having that be the other way around.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Our businesses are overtaxed and overregulated, and now I'm hearing that Democrats want to increase regulation on foreign trade. I was just wondering where you stand in terms of trade with foreign companies.
You know, I don't have a problem with the idea of free trade. The problem with ideas are they don't translate into reality very well. And so you have NAFTA that hasn't worked out to the way that, you know, the people that were selling it promised it to be. Our trade with China is it's not fair trade at all. I'm one that believes that you should hold a mirror up to the people you're trading with, and as long as the mirror shows the same reflection back, that's fine. But we're the only industrialized nation in the world that taxes our exports, and then when they get to China or wherever else, they tax them as an import. You know, those sorts of practices have to change. I'm for having every free trade agreement that we sign, or, you know, looking back upon, having a provision in there where it sunsets every 10 years, or you have a mandatory look back every 10 years. Instead, right now with NAFTA, you have to proactively say we want to look back at it. Well, I think the better practice would be is you have to look at it after 10 years and see what's wrong with it, see where we can improve it, or if we have to get rid of it, get rid of it. Yes, sir.
I guess my question to you would be that if you're in Congress and you're listening to some of the stories about George Soros and the administration, we gave $2 billion to Petro Brazil, and John Podesta, who's in charge of like the Obama administration and putting the people involved in there, and now we're shutting down the oil rigs in the Gulf. Am I only seeing something, or is people in Congress seeing this?
No, you're seeing a crisis of consent, and that's why groups like yours have grown up, because you have a group in power right now that has the raw power to do what they're doing because they have such overwhelming majorities that, you know, they're doing it. Usually it's tempered by character and integrity, and right now you just have people saying, I don't care what the bankruptcy laws say in America, we're going to do it the way we want to do. Or I don't care how you're supposed to do things in the Gulf, I'm just going to do a moratorium on all oil production in the future, you know, without paying attention to the rule of law. The rule of law comes and grows from, you know, an institutional knowledge of why it should get that way, and when you subvert that, you know, it creates problems. That's the problem, you know, I have with the healthcare bill. You had 55% plus of American people saying, no, don't do it, and the administration and Mark Schauer said, we're doing it anyway. We don't care what you say. So they're in the hopes that you'll be like, they're like drug addicts, or drug pushers. They'll say the first one's free, but you're going to be stuck on us forever, and you're going to have to keep coming back to us over and over again. That's the mentality I believe that they have down there, and it needs to change.
Thank you very much, Brian.